Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Good day, everyone. So for this video, I'm going to teach you how to conduct validity tests. So what is validity tests? Okay, validity tests will be done parallel with reliability tests. Okay, as I mentioned in our previous lecture, validity is how correctly measured the items related to the objectives. So validity is a test of how well an instrument that is developed measures the particular concept it is intended to measure. So will your items be measuring your objective? Okay. So there are three types of validity tests that you can do. Okay. And they are called content validity, criterion related validity, and construct validity. Okay, so we're going to look one by one. First is content validity. Okay, so content validity is ensuring that the measurement is adequate and represent the items that you are measuring. Okay, this would be done by meeting the experts. Okay, by taking your items and checking whether they are valid or not from the perspective of the experts. Okay, so for one of the examples I give you here is a panel of judges. Okay, will be used to identify the validity of the content of the instrument. For example, given by Kidder and Jude, 1986. I know it's an old one, but one of the best example is that this author, okay, they use experts to judge their items. Okay, they are measuring the degrees of speech impairment. So they ask professional speech therapists to check the validity of their content. So same as you guys, if you have items that you want to measure whether they are valid or not, the content, you can check whether meeting with experts or by using the items that have been developed by experts. Okay, that means the articles that you use to refer also can be one of the ways to verify the validity of your items. Okay, the next one is criterion related validity. Okay, they are divided into two. Okay, predictive validity and concurrent validity. So predictive validity is the ability to measure the instrument to differentiate among individuals with reference to a future criterion. For example, maybe you are measuring on satisfaction level. So you have to make sure that the satisfaction level that you are measuring can be differentiated into rank, whether the high score determine the high satisfaction, the low scores determine the low satisfaction. Okay, so if you can have that, that means it is a predictive validity, meaning that their items can predict whether the satisfaction is high or low. Okay, the concurrent validity is established when the scale discriminates individuals who are known to be different. Okay, for example, let's say you want to check the performance of student in a class, for example. Okay, so you have a question regarding performance. Okay, whether they think they perform well in the class or not, right? And the other one, you have a CGPA of these students, right? So you assume that those who have high CGPA will be high performer, right? And those with low CGPAs will be low performer. But if your items, okay, and when you do this, you can use t-test, you can use either any test to differentiate whether there are trends or not, whether the performers are different or not by that CGPA. If there is no difference between these two, alright, then you can say something related that it is not measuring well the performance level of the students, and you might want to teach the question or revise the question. The last one is congruent validity. Okay, it's divided also into two. So there are convergent validity, that is established when the scores obtained with two different instruments measure the same concept are highly correlated, meaning that from the same items, which you will measure after this, they are related or not, correlated or not. Okay? If they are not, then they might not be congruent. Discriminant validity is established when, based on theory, the variables, let's say they are supposed to be uncorrelated, alright, finding previous studies, finding previous examples, but the scores that you obtain, sorry, not but, okay, the scores obtained should also not be correlated. Okay, so that means it is that is what it means by discriminant validity, right? So if it's not supposed to be correlated, then the items measured are not supposed to be correlated. Right, so let's see how to do it using SPSS. Alright, so let's say this is your Excel. Alright, so these are the these are the items that you have. Right, you can either use it directly by changing them into item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that means they are all in one section. They are all measuring the same element or from the same objective. Right, so let me show you how to do it. Let's say you have this question, okay, and you think that this one is item 1 from the first question in that first section, item 2, item 3. Okay, rename them. Because I already have item 1, 2, 3, so I use it as B. Item 1B, item 1, 3B, and here is the part where you have to sum up. Okay, so put insert here, put it as total B, right, where you will do summation of all these items. Okay, you can do this sum, use this formula, highlight them. Okay, there you have it. Okay, the value of the total values of all the items. Then just click, and they will all goes down until the last respondents. Okay, so I'm going to show you just up to the only for the first objective. All right, so let's say you have this. Save it. Okay, save. Okay, so let's go to SPSS. Alright, so SPSS looks something like this. Okay, but I'm going to show you again how to import the data. Import data, Excel. Go to the influence, because this is where the location of my file is. Open. Alright, so I can see all the items that I have just now in Excel. They are all here. So, okay. Right? Okay, so there you go. All my items are all here. I'm not going to share with you what the meaning of all this variable view and data view. Okay, I'm just going to straight to analyzing the values. Okay, analyze the validity. So how to do it? Go to analyze. Okay, and then go to correlate. Right, correlate, and then go to bivariate. Okay, so as you can see here, these are all the items that you have. So let's say I want to measure these items, okay? All of this. And the first objective, yeah? So I take from item 1 to item total. Okay, I know that just now what I have was from item 1B, 2B, 3B, total B, right? But that is just an example of how to calculate the total. Okay, but what is really I want to measure here is item 1 until total. Alright, so it's up to you, but you have to do it by section. Okay, and then put it all together. Alright, and then just okay. Alright, so then you will have something like this. Okay, so what you need to do is to read here the total. Okay, this is Pearson correlation test. Okay, what it means is it measures the correlations between your items. Item 1 and item 1 is the same thing. That's why the Pearson correlation is equal to 1. Okay, meaning that they are a similar thing. Okay, Pearson correlation should be from 0 to 1. Alright, 0 to 1. 1 indicates a very strong correlation. Okay, so here, let's say the first one is item 1 and item 2. It means here, as you can see, is 0.713. It means that the correlation strength is 0.713. Okay, alright, and then the significant value here, alright, it means that the significant values is less than 0.05. Alright, so it means it is significant. Okay, 150 is because the number of respondents for this data, data collection, there are 150 respondents. Okay, so that is what it means. If you have a significant value of Pearson correlation, you will have asterisk value here. See this tick here. Okay, asterisk star lah. So there are stars here. It means it indicates that the value is significantly correlated. There are two things you need to look. Yeah, the first is the correlation, which the coefficients tells you the strength level, the level of strength of the correlation. Okay, and this one is telling you whether that is true or not. The significant tells you whether the correlation is true or not, right? So then you can see all of these items, they are all correlated because they all have all these stars. Okay, the total here means this just now I explained the congruent validity. All right, and here it explains the item correlated. Okay, correlated. So item 1 is all valid. Okay, item 2 is valid, item 3 is valid, item 4, item 5, item 6. Okay, there are many kinds of school of thoughts regarding measuring the validity, and this is one of the ways. Okay, there are some students who don't have total here, and I would suggest that you can put another one here because it shows the overall items, whether they are correlated or not, they are valid or not. Okay, so you can copy and put it just like this and copy. Alright, and then you can paste it in your work, and you look something like this. Okay, this is the example I gave you in the class, right? So you have here. Okay, so maybe you can do something like this students did. Okay, you have to identify whether these students, they put it as total score, and you can just put it as total, right? And then you have to explain whether your result was valid or not. Okay, if it's not valid, then you can just maybe you revise in future. You can revise the question. Okay, so I think that is all for my class. All right, so there are many ways that you can do to test the validity of your items, and for this class I only show you using correlation analysis. So thank you. Hope that you can understand. If there are any questions, do ask me in the class or in the section below.